Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Today we will be continuing with our history lesson. Last time we have started chapter 4 and we have covered a few points. Let me share the textbook page with you now. On page number 31 of the history textbook, we revised what is art. We started off with a chapter on history of Indian arts and we discussed what is art. Art is a natural human instinct where an individual wants to share his wisdom, his experience, and his emotions. And while doing so, he creates something which is beautiful, and this is acknowledged as art. We also saw a concept diagram related to what are the factors that are crucial at the root of artistic creation. An artist's power of imagination, sensibility, state of emotion, and his skills play a very vital role. Then again, we went to the next concept map where we discuss about visual arts and performing arts. The Sanskrit terms used for these. Visual arts is also called as Drik Kala, and performing arts are also described as Lalit or Angika Kala. The origin of visual arts is there right from the Stone Age man. And we then discussed about what are the two distinct traditions of art. We have folk art and classical art. Again, there was one concept map that we dealt with here last time. Let me share with you another page where I'll show you the concept map so that we can revise, and then we will start off with the new topic. History of Indian arts. This we discussed in our last session. What is art? The next point that we discussed was the factors that are crucial for expressing one's art. What are different types of arts? Then we have the four factors that influences an artist's creation. Let's move quickly, we'll move forward. Then we discussed about the two different types of arts. We have a tree diagram here, types of artistic creations, visual arts and performing arts, Drik Kala and Lalit or Angika Kala. Painting, sculpture comes under Drik Kala, and performing arts, dance, music and theatre. Moving ahead, we saw the two distinct traditions of arts. We have folk arts, which is spontaneous and natural, and classical art, which requires a lot of training to gain mastery over an art. Classical art, it requires a lot of training. Let's again move forward. We also saw the art of painting. We had important, I said there is an important question here. Paintings are two-dimensional. They're drawn on different surfaces. Paintings, subject matter of painting is related to nature, objects, or human beings. The mural of the Bodhisattva, which is seen at the Ajanta cave, is a very fine example of painting. Then we discuss about one question, folk styles of painting. Rock paintings are found in many countries. They date back to Stone Age. They are found in different states in India like Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, and Telangana. I hope you have viewed the YouTube video, which I had asked you to view. I had put up three different um, YouTube videos for you to watch, which tells us or gives us more information about Bhimbetka, which is a World Heritage Site. Rock paintings depict human, animal, and geometric figures. Then we have the use of colors, colors which were used for this folk painting. They were usually made from natural substances. Black, red, and white color was used. And these rock paintings, we have discussed last time, they are very important because they help us to know about how people lived during those times, how they use their available resources, and they become important material sources of history. Today, we'll start off with our session today where we have we will discuss the following points today. Moving ahead with the art of painting. Today we will cover the Maratha style of painting, Varli painting, Chitrakati Kathi or Patya Chitra, classical styles of painting, miniature paintings in manuscripts, Western style of painting. This video we will cover for the first 6 points, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be covered in another video. Okay, let's move ahead. Varli painting. Everybody is very familiar with what is Varli art, because we find that this Varli art in not only in painting on a canvas or on the walls of the hou- houses, but you find that bed sheets, pillow covers, then you have uh, various objects where this Bali painting is depicted. So Varli has become a very Wali painting. It's become people are very familiar with what is Varli painting. Now the painting that you can see on the left hand side, here you can see that there is a Varli painting put up, and this Varli painting is usually put up by the women folk of the Wali tribe, who use this painting to decorate the walls of their houses. Just before a festival, they decorate the walls of the houses with rice flour paste, and they prepare a background surface out of geru or the red mud. Now, this Wali painting, how did it become world famous? Jivya Somya Mashe, the picture of the person whom you can see on the screen here, he was the one who made this art form popular all over the world. And for this, he has received several national and international awards for his paintings. And he was awarded the highest honor, that is Padma Shri, for his work in 2011. So, Varli painting, and the person who received an award, who made Varli painting world famous. Varli community is a tribal community that lives near in Maharashtra, and Jivya Somya Vashi played a very important role in making this art form very popular. Let's move ahead. The next form of painting is Chitrakati painting. The tradition of Chitrakati, you'll find that the such beautiful, colorful paintings, and the subject matter of this Chitrakati painting is from the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Sometimes wooden puppets are used and sometimes paintings are used in order to depict the entire story. The tradition of Chitrakati or Pinguli has been mentioned in Manasulas, a book written by the Chalukya king Someshwar in the 12th century Common Era. So it dates back to, it's very old, and the time period goes back to 12th century. The people who still the people who still practice this Pinguli or Chitrakati art, another name for Chitrakati is Pinguli art. They live in a village called Pinguli, which is located in the Konkan region near Kudal. If you have visited Tarkarli at any point of time, you know that Kudal is on the western coast. It lies in the Konkan region. And the people who practice this Chitrakati painting, they belong to the Thakur tribal community. So Chitrakati painting, we have Chitrakati painting mentioned in Manasulas, a book written by Chalukya king. Let's revise. The subject matter is generally stories from the epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Many times there is a wooden puppet, and the people who live in the Pinguli village in the Konkan region near Kudal, the so-called Thakur tribal community, they are the ones who practice, or they are the ones who are involved in the Chitrakati paintings. Let's move ahead. Chitrakati paintings are generally drawn on paper with colors. And again, this dates back to 12th century Common Era children. So most of the colors were made from natural substances. Now, when you're talking about epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, it involves so many stories. And so, therefore, 50 to 30 to 50 pictures were required in order to complete the narration of a single story. And these pictures were carefully preserved, and they were handed over from one generation to another generation. But It's a sad state of affairs that now this Chitrakati painting form is on the verge of extinction. Many a times, what happens, our forefathers were good painters. The forefathers of this Thakur community, they were good painters, but their the children and their grandchildren, they were not involved in learning this art form and passing it down to the next generation. And that is why you'll find that this painting is now on the verge of extinction, and the government is trying its best in order to preserve the Chitrakati form of painting. In the textbook, you have a give reason question. Chitrakati painting is on the verge of extinction, and the government is trying to conserve it. So you need to mention that what is Chitrakati painting and how it takes 30 to 50 pictures to complete the narration of a story, and how it is handed over from one generation to another generation. But now, since it is on the verge of extinction, the government is trying to conserve the Chitrakati painting. There is a very beautiful, I got a picture of the Chitrakati painting, which shows which depicts the birth of, it is the story of Ramayana, right from the birth of Rama to the marriage of Lord Rama and Sita. In the first part, you will see that there are four cradles, and you have uh, birth of Rama, then Rama and Lakshmana. Then you have how the brothers go to the Gurukul to study, and then how Lord Vishwamitra takes them to his hermitage in order to protect. He wants the brothers Rama and Lakshmana to protect the yagya from the asuras. How Rama goes to Mithila and the marriage of Rama and Sita after Rama breaks the bow. Okay. So very beautifully see how in sequence the painting depicts the story from the birth of Rama. And while this particular story is being depicted through this painting, generally there is song, there are musical instruments, and therefore it becomes very interesting to listen to the person who is actually narrating the story in the Chitrakati from the Chitrakati painting. Let's move ahead. So we finished Varli painting and Chitrakati painting. Now, coming to the Maratha style of painting, it's another example of art style developed in the 17th century Common Era. Again, this style has colored paintings, mural paintings. Now, what do you mean by these mural paintings? You'll find this word in the textbook. Murals are large works which are executed or drawn on the walls of solid structures. It can be caves or it can be temple, the walls of the temple. So, murals are generally, you'll find them on the walls of caves or on the walls of temples. It also has miniature paintings, paintings which are put up, very small paintings put up for books or albums, which are used in the manuscripts, books which were written, depicting the giving information about different time periods, or it can be any story. And small paintings were required in order to uh, make it more colorful and attractive. So these miniature paintings you will find in the Maratha style of painting. Murals of Maratha style of paintings are also seen in old palaces and vadas like Vai, Menavali, and Satara in Maharashtra. Many times when you visit these palaces, you will find that these paintings are still there. So on the left hand side, you have the painting of um, Maratha painting, wall paintings. And these two paintings, the first one is found in Vai, and the second one of the Lord Vishnu, the painting of Lord Vishnu at Menavali Satara. Let's move ahead. Again, we have Maratha style of painting. There's a question here, children. Maratha style of painting was influenced by Rajput and European style of painting. Many times, uh, one or two, there is a blending of two or more styles, giving rise to a new style. So, Maratha style of painting was influenced by Rajput and European style of painting. Why are these paintings very important? On the left hand side, you will find that the painting, this is the picture, same painting is given in your textbook also. It shows a Darbar Hall, and this painting is actually made by some unidentified person. it belongs to the Maratha school in 1820. Time period is 1820. When you look at the painting, you will try, you can understand more about how the people dressed up, their lifestyle, the customs of people, how was how would the king sit in the darbar, and how do the ministers placed their how they were seated in the darbar, who were the other people in the darbar. All this you can get information when you look at the paintings. So they become again material sources of history. Let's move ahead. Maratha style of painting. We have 6 points. Um, let's revise once again. It's an example of art style developed in 17th century. And this style has colored paintings, mural, which are generally executed on walls of solid structures like temples or as in caves. It also has miniature paintings put up on a very small scale for books or albums. Murals are still found in the palaces or vadas like Vai, Menavali, and Satara in Maharashtra. It has been influenced by European and Rajput style of painting, and these paintings are important because it helps us to understand about the costumes, lifestyle, and customs of people. So we have completed Varli painting, Chitrakati painting, and Maratha style of painting. Let's come to miniature painting. When you have a look at the painting, which is there on the again the left side, you will find that here a lot of detailing has been done. Although the size of the painting is very small, there is a lot of detailing done. Generally, sometimes it is said that even the a single strand of the squirrel's fur was used in order to as brush in order to actually paint. So hats off to these painters who did a remarkable job. We have miniature paintings which are influenced by manuscripts, early manuscripts of the Persian style. Then you have the Deccan miniature style, which was developed under the patronage or encouragement given by the Deccan Sultanates, Adil Shahi, of Adil Shahi, Qutub Shahi, Nizam Shahi, they were Deccan Sultanates. Then, even in the times of Akbar, Mughal miniature style of painting developed during the time of Mughal Emperor Akbar. Many times in the history textbook you have the picture of Aurangzeb, Akbar, Sambhaji, and these are all actually miniature paintings. It shows a blend of Indian and Persian styles of painting. Let's move ahead. We have the next point, that is Western style of painting. As you all know, when the Britishers came to India and they um, became de facto rulers of several regions in India, their art form and the European style influence Indian artists. So we have a Western style of painting and its influence on Indian art. Indian artists were influenced by European style during the British period. James Wales, a Scottish artist, he established an art school in Shaniwarwada in Pune during the times of Savai Madhavrao Peshwa. And there is a portrait of Savai Madhavrao on the left side. You will find the first painting. You have the Peshwa seated along with Nana Fadnavis on his left side. And we have two of the Maratha Sardars standing next to them. So look at the use of colors and the details which have been put up. So this is the Western influence on the Indian artist. And James Wales was an important Scottish artist who established a school in Shaniwarwada in Pune. Now, moving ahead, we have James Wales. In his work was helped by an artist, a Marathi artist, who requires a very special mention here, Gagaram Thambat. And you have a painting actually of Gagaram Thambat on the left side, and on sitting in front of him, you have his guru, Gagaram Thambat with his guru. And Gagaram Thambat's name became very famous because he has made drawings of all the rock cut caves at Verul and Karli. And his work has been appreciated so much that some of his paintings are preserved at the Yale Center of British Art of Yale University. Um, so his name requires a special mention because he was an artist who helped this James Wales. An important feature of the Maratha, uh, again, painting which was influenced by the European paintings, an important feature of European paintings and the Western influence when you're talking about it, is that they portray the object as it is. On the left side, when you have a look at the picture, you will find that there are so many objects which have been painted. You have a comb, a feather, and several small articles are there. And today, what you describe as still life, children, where trying to present the object as it is. This is an important feature of European painting to portray the object or to show the object exactly as it is. The Western influence was so much that in the year 1857, the JJ School of Arts was established, and many renowned famous artists were trained here. And it offered courses in the European style of painting. So many times you'll find that there is a blending of the Indian artists. The artists were Indian, but their the Indian style and the European style blended well, and many good paintings were actually made by the artists at that time. Pestonji Bomanji, an alumni or an ex-student of this institute, made a replica of the Ajanta paintings. Ajanta cave paintings, many of them have like with the passage of time, the paintings have lost its luster, and many of them are like these paintings are getting slowly destroyed because of the influence of the weather conditions. But this person, Pestonji Bomanji, played a very important role, and he has made a replica of the Ajanta paintings when they were as he saw it during that early times. So he has helped us in order to preserve the Ajanta paintings by making an exact replica or exact picture, the way it looks, same in the same way. So we have discussed the various types of paintings, children. There are few questions which are coming up here. In the textbook, you have questions on Maratha style of painting. In the history textbook, we have Maratha style of painting. This entire paragraph, which you see on page number 22, is the answer to the question on Maratha style of painting. Okay, the entire paragraph you'll have to learn up, and I'll be sending you the details about the question answers maybe tomorrow once we finish this particular. You view this video first, understand the points, and then afterwards you can start learning. Then in your textbook you have when we continue, we have the Varli painting and the Chitrakati painting, which is given as additional information. But the Varli painting and Chitrakati painting can come up as a comprehension question also, wherein you can have very small questions. For example, here you in your screen you can see the tradition of Chitrakati is mentioned in Manasola's, a book written by Chalukya king. There can be a direct question: where is the tradition of Chitrakati mentioned? Then, what was the subject matter of the Chitrakati painting? The answer is it narrates stories from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Uh, this is on page number 23. Then, when we continue, you have all the classical styles of painting. We'll be taking this particular, there's a concept map coming here, which you will see in the next video. Then you have Gagaram Thambat and his Guru, miniature style of painting, and how he played a very vital role, and he became famous because he made the drawings of the rock cut caves at Verul and Karli, and even today some of his paintings are preserved at the Yale Center of British Art of Yale University. So the object painting, what you call as still life, that is actually a very good characteristic feature of the European style of painting. Uh, In this particular part, we have two important questions. One is the Maratha style of painting, and we have two comprehensions which come up, that is related to Chitrakati and Varli painting. Uh, in the next video, we will be taking up some more of the in the next video. I'll be dealing with the other points related to the cultural style, Indian iconography, and again, I'll be telling you about some concept maps which are there in that particular chapter. Uh, in the first part and the second part, we have covered about 5 to 6 questions already. And what I want you to do is view the video again and again, and you try and learn these answers. And in the slide which I will put up, the question answers, I'll put it up separately in the WhatsApp group so that you can start learning it from there. You can make a note of it in your notebook and try and complete learning few question answers. In the next video, we will be dealing with we'll be continuing with the lesson. Okay. And meantime, focus on what you need to learn. And if you don't understand any of the word meanings, use a dictionary. In the English lesson, I have given you a Google Sheet. I have forwarded a link and I have asked you to complete the Google form. I hope all of you have submitted the same, and there are a few students who have not submitted, but many majority of you have submitted the form, and you may have also understood the scores, your scores. So if you have gone wrong somewhere, go through the Google form once again, and don't have to submit it, but write down the questions in the notebook as an assignment for English. Next video, I'll be taking up the next part, and I will forward it to you maybe tomorrow or by evening. And there is one Google form related to the history part as well. I want you to read the textbook well before you answer those questions. It will be most probably a quiz question, an MCQ question, and options will be given. And you will find most of the answers are there in the textbook. So goodbye, children. Stay home, stay safe, but keep learning and keep working. Thank you.